loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bags.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Cryptcast. I'm Mike.
What up, Crypt Crawlers? I'm Brian.
And we're coming to you from inside the Comic Crypt in Eatontown, New Jersey. And we're here to give you that little bit of Wednesday morning you might not get in your life, you know?
It'd be a very sad life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm spoiled.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we have to be here. Otherwise, there is no Wednesday morning. There is no new book day if we stay home. So we have an email today. Not from Tim.
Oh, okay.
I thank you, Tim. I appreciate everything you do. But we're going to go with a different one. So we have an email from Matt. It says, "Hi, Brian and Mike. Recent Marvel crossovers with Predator and Godzilla have gotten me thinking of other comic book crossovers. So, my question is, what are one or two of your favorite comic book crossovers, and what is your dream comic book crossover?"
I mean, favorite crossovers, yeah, it's all circumstantial. Like my favorite crossovers are always X crossovers.
Shocker.
That's all the family getting together, you know? Or whenever the Bat family crosses over, you know?
He's specifically talking about, like, properties crossing over.
I know.
Like Marvel fighting Godzilla and DC fighting Godzilla, Marvel fighting Predator, that kind of shit.
I know. I haven't really, like, embraced any of them. I've read plenty of them.
Just in general, anything.
But something that would be, like, a dream thing isn't a dream thing for me because I get it. Almost every company that has Transformers or G.I. Joe at some point crossed them over.
I mean, and their whole universe now is that.
Is that. So, like, I get the fan, you know, and being two properties that, like, I grew up with, like, that would be my fantasy one. Mm-hmm. And then there's the shit that I always torture you with. Once Marvel acquired, once Disney acquired Star Wars, and it could have been all in canon universe, you know, the Han Solo, Chewbacca, Rocket, and Groot crossover is something I feel is sorely overdue.
Horrible.
Sorely overdue.
So,
because Groot and Chewbacca are going to understand each other, and the other guys are going to look at them like, well, you guys understand each other? Because there's a lot of inside jokes going to be there.
Sure.
But, you know, them being parallel character types, roguish scoundrels, I feel there's a lot of fun to be had with that one. That would be one I want to see.
No, thank you. Me in general, I don't like that kind of crossover. Keep your properties where they belong. I don't need stuff like that happening.
Your food can't touch on a plate.
Yes.
You can't mix your corn in your mashed potatoes.
No, I fucking hate that.
You have no fun.
No, I do not like that.
That's terrible.
Like, legitimately, when I eat, like, you leave my mashed potatoes alone. I don't want veggies in there. You keep my peas over here. I'll dip in my steak into wherever I want to eat it. But, yeah, I don't want my shit mashed up into it. If I wanted that, I'd go get a fucking, like, mashed potato bowl somewhere.
Exactly. If you have mashed potatoes on a plate, it becomes a bowl.
Nope.
You mix that shit in.
No. I like to enjoy my food separately, savor the flavors that they give you, and just go that way. That said, as far as like crossovers I enjoyed, the Batman Turtle crossovers were fun. That was alright.
Yeah, they were good. I enjoyed those.
And while I have never read it, I really love the idea of the Punisher Archie crossover.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, I never read it. I just love the idea of it.
It was fun. Like, it was what it was, but it was absolutely throwaway. It was as fun and cheeky as Godzilla versus any of the Marvel things.
Okay, look, it makes sense. That's just like Frank going to Riverdale and shooting the place up. But as far as stuff I would like to see, zero, nothing. I don't want any crossovers like that.
Nothing. There's no properties that like you could just like pull out of your ass. Even don't restrict yourself to comics, TV show, cartoon, whatever.
Nothing I could think
Street
of.
Sharks, Ninja Turtles.
No, I
don't know. I know you like both. Street Sharks, Pirates of Dark Water. The sharks come out of the dark water. I don't know.
None of that would make any sense.
Nah,
but that's my problem. Is the crossovers don't make fucking sense. Like you gotta stretch the limits of the imagination for these things to like happen and work. You know,
bro.
What?
It's comic books. You have to stretch the imagination to make any of it
No,
work.
sir. No, like you could have comics in general, not all the time, but they tend to be internally consistent, and that's what's important for me for story is internal consistency.
Internal consistency.
Yes, I said in general.
You are
I
a
didn't
huge
say,
X fan. There's no internal consistency with.
There's enough where there is a narrative that you can follow.
Bruce Wayne jumps off rooftops and swings by dental floss everywhere.
Yeah, because that's the rules of the universe. And that have been set, and that's fine. As long as they don't start fucking with that, it doesn't matter. So yeah,
you're hard to please.
Generally anti-crossover. There you go, Matt.
Yeah, there you go, Matt.
Pretty straightforward.
Fuck your crossovers.
No, thank you. Like, all the Godzilla shit's just ridiculous right now. Too much Godzilla. And it's great for Godzilla people. And I'm sure we mentioned it before, but for me, it's just too much going on.
Well, the Godzilla Spider-Man
So it
came out the same week as Godzilla something else.
I don't know, but yes. Yes.
But Godzilla Spider-Man was fun and stupid and just absolutely dumb. Just like, it was not taking itself serious.
Sure.
And whatever the other one was a very different flavor. I liked them both respectively.
Okay, and that's fine. You can enjoy that sort of thing. It's just not for me.
No, I'm not saying it should be. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm just saying, like, when Eddie Brock gets the Venom symbiote off of Godzilla, you know, and it takes on properties of Godzilla, like Venom now has the back plates. It's just so stupid. It looked like a giant butterfly. It was ridiculous. But yeah. I mean, if you can't laugh at some of your comics, like not everything's going to be an epic. Yes,
I get it. It's sometimes it's fun to have fun or whatever. It's just, you can do that without injecting shit that doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing at all. Yeah, like I'm reading great, compelling murder mysteries right now. I'm reading fun superhero stuff, and I'm also reading Pinup Apocalypse, which is just some straight garbage. Sure, right. But as long as you're having fun, right. So to that end, what have you been reading? Oh, so much. I have trouble deciphering like which week, because we do this every 2 weeks. Gotta put notes in your notes. I know. I can't. I can barely bother keeping notes. It's real easy. In my list of stuff I read, I just put a gap. No, I know how easy it is. I'm just incredibly lazy. It's literally just hitting the button twice. I read the second issue of I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer. I'm pretty sure that was last week, if not the week before. It had to have been last week, otherwise I would have mentioned it on the last podcast. Because we were recorded 2 weeks ago. And that's fun. That's a fun murder mystery about a fashion designer at school. Yeah, those guys are consistent. 2 weeks ago was also Godzilla vs. X-Men. Great crossover. Okay. Not so great crossover. No fun? No. Not as good as Spidey? No, it was definitely better than Spidey. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot better than Spidey. Okay. You know, it actually took place in Japan, so it made me feel like Sunfire was there. And you're just like, okay, yeah, all right, sure. Cool. Sure. Read The Cold Witch. I don't know what that is. I liked it. The problem is, halfway through reading it, I found out it was a sequel. Oh, good. And I went, great. I didn't read the first part of Did you get to enjoy the second part, though? Yeah. It was fun. Basically, this guy who's an adventurer and into the arcane and stuff dies. Mm-hmm. And these two people were kind of like students of his in a way. And this guy's wife shows up, and she is mad at the council they belong to, and she suspects foul play, and she doesn't trust anyone, and she's into the arcane and a sorcerer herself, but apparently doesn't belong to the guild or whatever. And she is trying to get these two to aid her in going up against the coven. Which is the coven's like real weird too, because they're all like skin wearers, like they wear masks of skin and stuff like this. Sure, it's a good way to show like, oh, they're scary. Cool, yeah, really cool aesthetic. But you know, like, it's a choice. Okay. But you know, like they mention it's a guy and a girl, and they're a couple, and you know, at one point they mention like, oh yeah, you were helping him before you were pregnant, and there was like a little bit of a flashback, and I was like, oh shit. This is a sequel. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. I can't say that I won't continue to read it because, like, get wrote me in, did a good job. Last week was issue 1 of this thing called Robowolf. Right. Which I don't know if you remember the Technicolor throw up that was this book. Yeah, I remember being very bright and looked like it fell out of 1985. Yeah, it is aesthetically, like, not the art. Yeah, it was a Saturday morning cartoon. Mm-hmm. It was just wacky. It was like a wacky, fun, ridiculous book. They are mercenary henchmen type people. Robowolf is the leader. He's a cybernetic wolf guy. They rob banks and stuff, and he's the leader of this little crime deal that he has. They have their own little like Punisher van with tech and guns and whatever. And it is super over the top.
And they try to this ridiculous garbage, and there's a story in there. It's his daughter's birthday. He's pulling this bank job, and he needs to get home in time for his daughter's birthday. And he's a terrible dad, but he doesn't mean to be. He gives her a screwdriver.
Okay.
And you know, and he picks up on the disappointment. He was like, oh, he's like, you know, because of the time that like I was fixing the cars and you wanted to help, and I let you turn the screwdriver, and you were having such a good time. And she's like, Daddy, I was having a good time because I was helping you, not because of the screwdriver. And he was like, oh shit, I suck, like, you know.
Is she a regular person?
Nope, she's a little girl wolf in a pink dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes to the female in his group, and he's like, hey, he's like, I really blew it. And she's like, oh, you have to get to this. And he's like, what's that? And he's like, oh, she's like, it's the hot stuff that all the little kids.
Okay, it's a Jingle All the Way situation.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. I was going to use Turbo Man as an example, but they don't. It's not even a problem. Like, they go out and they get this stuff. Like, it's not
okay.
like an issue to get this. Like, he gets it all. He gets the whole line.
Okay.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna win the day.
Sinbad doesn't show up and fuck it up.
But like I said in the beginning, they rob the bank, and it goes bad. You know, so they get like exposed, and all this guy's villains are now gonna try to claim the reward on them, and they're all like equally bad people. Like, you know, like there's no good guys in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But one of the guys kidnaps the daughter. He goes home with all the presents, and the daughter's gone, and now he has to get his daughter back. So it's like, all right, I'll probably keep reading this.
So
This is
Jingle All the Way
stupid,
turning into
but fun.
Taken?
Yeah, kind of. But again, like the colors, like everything's neon,
Right.
And the characters have robotic limbs for no reason and no explanation. It's just a wacky, like it's almost like a cartoon version of Judge Dredd, because like the city's kind of futuristic and it's just wacky. Wacky is the only word I can come up with.
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I didn't read anything from last week that had a good time. There was stuff I liked, stuff I didn't, but like nothing was fun for me from last week. Like
Bug Wars was last week. Bug Wars issue 4.
Yeah, but
and
that's right.
Shit is epic. Like that story, every issue just keeps
getting good. I don't want to keep retreading it, but yeah, it's still amazing.
Yeah,
it's doing so good.
That's what I felt. That's what I feel problems with is like when I get locked into the books that I really love. It's like it's like, all I'm going to do is like retread when we talk, because that is consistently good.
I try to hit new stuff, but like if something like big happens in an issue, like absolutely cover it.
I didn't get to read. What's that? We're taking them all down with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't get to read this week's either.
But I opened like the front cover and saw the front page, and I called it the fucking Dad's in the Robot.
Well, we all knew that from the end of one, right? Like that was it.
Like as soon as he called it what the pet name was, I was like, oh,
Starfish.
Yeah, Starfish. Yeah. And I was like, that's you're the dad.
And even in the second issue, the assistant, the old man, was being like, you know, like taking orders from him as if he were the guy. You know, like it was there right away. We know it's just his daughter can't put it together.
Page, the robot's carrying him covered in blood, and he's like, "Get me to the chair," and the chair's got one of those salad bowl things that come down over the head.
Sure.
You're like, "Oh, there you go. Yep, you're transferring."
Typical mind transfer. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hulk and Doctor Strange #1, the Straczynski crossover.
Crossovers, yeah.
It was all right.
What was the?
You know, as you, I'm gonna die. I'm choking on spit.
Hulk or Doctor Strange? Which one's gonna choke on spit? I would say Hulk. Hulk could probably choke on spit.
So, as usual, it's Bruce Banner looking for answers, whatever, him having emotions and shit. He goes to Doctor Strange, and he wants him to kind of bring him back in time to go, like, figure some shit out. Doctor Strange says, no, I'm not going to do that, because you start with fucking with time, it's going to mess everything up. But I can actually project you so you can go watch. So, Doctor Strange is in it only as a means to get Banner to where he needs to go.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a crossover.
So it's not really a crossover.
No, it is.
It's a therapy session.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's Bruce going back in astral form, reliving his origin to kind of like figure himself out.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, the origin still ugly, dad abusive, and all that shit that they've covered in recent years.
Not that. It only covers the actual like bomb.
The accident.
Yeah, the accident.
Okay. All right.
It covers like just previous to that to him turning into the Hulk.
Yeah, because every time they embellish on his origin, it is not good stuff.
No.
There's a reason he's a rage monster.
One of basically the thing that gets across is that like when you become gamma powered, it just takes what you are and amplifies it.
Okay.
It takes your core being and just amplifies it into something bigger, right?
We kind of got the gist of that with Red Hulk, because Red Hulk, when Thunderbolt's bitching out Banner, he's like, you're out of control rage monster because you suck. He's like, I'm not that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He didn't do that to me.
But basically, it's him being afraid that, like, if I'm this angry person, is that what I am inside? Am I the monster already, and it's just being brought out because of the gamma power? And it has this nice happy ending. It's like, no, because he's reliving the thoughts of him when he's getting hit. He thinks he's about to die, and they spin it where he was angry at the moment that he got hit with the gamma because he didn't want to die. He was angry that he would have his life stolen from him and that he wanted to live because he had so much more to do.
And then he pushed Rick Jones out of the way.
Yes.
So he's mad at Rick Jones.
He's not mad at Rick Jones.
Secretly, he wants to kill Rick Jones.
He's not mad at Rick Jones.
Way cooler story, because I hate Rick Jones.
So it's him. It's a nice little spin on, like, he's mad because anger is what he was feeling at the time, but it was anger that he had more to do. He wanted to live more.
Every time Rick Jones walks out of the room, Banner's like, I'm glad your wife was a whore.
It was really well written, but it wasn't anything like crazy good. Like, there was a couple points in there that made me chuckle, so it was good. There's a fourth wall break in it, which is weird.
I still want clarification on what the hell Doctor Strange's emblem is.
It's just like a little mystical thingy.
I know, but I asked you last week. It sure as hell looked like a bat.
It was drawn very, like, it's the fat bat version of his symbol on for that art. Yeah, was it Dotson who did that cover?
Yeah, it was Dotson.
It was very big. Usually it's thinner. It's a little more.
Yeah, it was like it's either a bat or
medieval
a
heraldry looking
or something.
Yeah, kind of in those in that realm, but yeah, not quite.
I wonder if there's a definitive answer to that. Like is his emblem supposed to be something?
I don't know. I always thought it was like a design thing. Yeah, I don't know. I read Superman Unlimited 1. Did you read that?
I did not. You told me about it, and it kind of like turned me off from even giving it a chance.
Dan Slott, Raphael Albuquerque. There's some fun moments in it, but overall, like, he gets another power, and he doesn't need another fucking power.
That never works. They gave him a power a few years back.
Yeah, the exploding thing. Yeah, the exploding power. Well, that's something you could do once and be like, well, I forget about it. Don't worry about it until, like, someone wants to use it down the line.
Yeah, but it's
this one
that you have with
this
them.
one is like, this changes the game.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so two major things is he is now immune to kryptonite.
Which, garbage. Why would you even do that?
Right. Also, I think the interesting part of it, I don't care about the rest of it, this changes, like, the whole DC universe forever, is a meteor of kryptonite, like a huge amount. Basically, they did Wakanda's origin, and instead of vibranium, it's kryptonite, lands near this, like, tiny, like, island nation, and they have it, and they are the sole producers of kryptonite to the world, and now, like, kryptonite's the hot new metal that everyone's using for technology and blah 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 blah.
So the rest of the Kryptonian family can't go anywhere.
They're getting fucked up.
Too common.
Like Superboy's like in it, like his arms in a cast, and like him and Kara have, like, you know, bruised up faces and shit because, like,
fuck those people. What about Streaky and Crypto?
It's readily available to, like, just anyone can get it, no problem.
Did the pets appear in the book? Were they in distress?
No.
That would have broke my heart, man. don't fuck with the super pets.
That'd be fucked up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's not okay.
I'm generally not a Superman fan. I am generally not a Superman reader. But I was like, I'll try it out, and I didn't dig it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been reading Superman stuff just for the sake of the podcast, and you know, like, we did the last special, and that wasn't so bad, right? The not the summer special, the last one shot that you did.
Oh yeah, you read that. I didn't end up reading that.
Yeah, some of the stuff has been, you know, it's been hit or miss, but, like, none of this sounds good.
Well, like I said, like, the kryptonite thing is interesting. Him just all of a sudden being immune to its bullshit.
The kryptonite thing is interesting. I would like to see, if you're really gonna do like a Wakanda rip, then make a hero out of that nation. Like, make
it'd be interesting. I mean, they already did, like, the nation's all, like, super, like, teched out and, like, crazy looking now.
But that's cool. I hate when they walk shit like that back. You know, you're not gonna walk back Atlantis for Namor. You're not gonna walk back Wakanda. Then why would you walk back Krakoa?
How did this turn into that?
I'm just saying, like, they're presenting this now. It should stay a thing, you know?
This bullshit nation they just made up?
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
sure, yes.
Like, you're making a new nation, and you're making it, like, financially stable. Like, no one should show up and turn all kryptonite to lead or some shit.
That's just exactly what's going to happen.
But
and
dismiss it all.
It's going to be like fake kryptonite that's going to like turn into something else, or someone else is going to come with some science to make kryptonite inert or some shit. That's the only way they're going to get out of this. Otherwise, there's no more Kryptonians in the DC universe being effective other than Superman.
Yeah, I don't know. Just don't want. Things like that should be permanent changes moving forward.
It's comic books. There's no permanent changes,
and that's terrible because it's a fictional universe. It's the platform on which you can go. Yeah, fuck you. We changed it forever. Just commit to that. Like, there's no reason not to.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying it's not going to happen just because it's the medium. It never works like that.
I know.
Status quo. Way to go.
No, never. Especially in fantasy.
You have to. It's got to last forever. If you change too much, it won't last forever.
If it changes too much, you run the risk of getting new readers and alienating
old readers. Yeah. And there's a lot more of them already.
Yeah, but where Superman readers are like 5 and they're dying. Like, you can stand to change it up a bit.
Whoa. For whatever reason, a lot of our like younger readers are like gravitating towards DC.
That's only because they reset not so long ago, so it was easy for them to jump
That's
on.
bullshit. Because like some of like I call them old man list. Like where people reading nothing but DC, and I guess that's an insult. I don't know. I don't mean it in that way. But
well, I mean, apart from Batman, who's cooler than cool always, the other DC characters have always been read by older gentlemen. Like
sure.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I respect someone who has an all Marvel list more than someone who has an all DC list. But there's a couple of younger guys who have that where it's like, what happened? Why is this happening?
What happened was a bunch of new number ones for people to come in and a bunch of new gimmicks that...
I don't know.
Listen.
I don't know.
New 52 did it, and we had a whole bunch of people come in and open up lists, and we groaned when they were like, I like all the New 52 shit. And we went, oh, God. Go back and read stuff before Flashpoint, please. And then Rebirth happened and went, oh, it's all good jumping on points. And it's like, yeah, still, go back and read before Flashpoint, please.
I don't know, man.
And then all that bullshit with fucking the medals and the Batman Who Laughs, that was bringing people in. It was gimmick after gimmick after gimmick. It was garbage gimmicks, but it worked in pulling people in. And what do we have? We have an absolute universe.
It's bringing people in.
But it's working again. It's bringing people in.
I would say this is probably overall a little more quality too, because it's pretty decent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But overall,
yeah.
Absolutely. You said it.
I did not say absolutely.
You stopped yourself.
I did not stop myself.
I can literally go back in the recording, and you almost said absolute, and you just.
I'm gonna start drinking Absolute. Straight, no orange juice. But this is a little different because it's DC going, well, we can't reboot the universe again, so let's try the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I mean, the fact that it took them this long to try that is crazy to me.
I
know Elseworlds were always a thing, but like a long-standing, like recurring other universe, especially because the Ultimate Universe happened and was successful for a while.
I never shit on Marvel over DC, except for when we talk about theft. DC has taken characters from... Marvel has taken characters from DC and remade them into their own more times than not. I'm just saying, for DC to finally take the page out of Marvel's playbook and go, fuck you, we have an Ultimate Universe. It's about time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look,
no.
everybody steals. The best artists steal. It's just the way it works.
Yeah. DC is allowed... Especially after...
Absolutely. No one said they weren't. Do it. Steal it. Go. Yes. Before, I only have one other book from last week I would want to talk about, and that's Absolute Flash 3. And shit comes together finally.
Oh, yeah?
3 issues. Jeff Lemire, Nick Robles. He's Flash by the end of it.
I had it in my hands. I was about to read it before we started this. And I was just like, well...
He ends up in the suit by the end of the issue. And you know how they send Grodd after him, but Grodd's like a little monkey with like a weird like fucked up head and the brain out.
Yeah,
they kind of like mentally click because they have like dueling tragedy in their life because they both love their mothers and they both lost their mothers, and so they connect and now they're like friends.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and like the like that happens, and Grodd messes someone up, and Captain Cold's go like, the monkey's gone rogue, blah blah blah, blah, and like they, and it's the two of them against the world now.
That's what that cover reminded me of. I'm sitting there looking at the cover, and I'm like, where have I seen this before? Where have I seen this before? Kid looking over his shoulder, monkey on his shoulder. That's a Why the Last Man cover. I wonder if that's an intentional homage.
Huh. That's something to think about, yeah. I would have to look at the cover again and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, so it's he's in costume, he's got Grodd, and they're doing great. He's kind of accepted who he is, and he's got a little more control over the power, so.
That's cool.
To have that wrapped in by issue 3, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I still like it. It's definitely towards the top still.
It's my second under Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan of Wonder Woman.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've given up on Wonder Woman. But I've given up on Batman. I gave up on Batman before I gave up on Wonder Woman.
That's fair. I need to read the last Batman because I wasn't thrilled with the intro of Mr. Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't read the most recent issue to catch up and see what's actually happening. But I'll get there. Got anything else from last week?
Last week, no. This week,
Yeah.
did you read Ultimate Spider-Man?
No.
Damn you.
Sorry.
Damn you.
Sorry. I was trying to knock out number ones to talk about.
We're
I
not,
didn't do it.
I know we say spoilers, but I'm not going to... You got to read that. We can't.
I already figured some of it out.
So you did already figure some of it out, but there's a lot more involved, and it's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll read it. How about we talk about a sucky thing and then we can talk about better stuff?
Oh, that means we have to talk about Hush.
Yeah.
Hush is like watching a never-ending train wreck.
Look, last issue, I also did say it's probably like one of the, if not the worst Batman issue I've ever read. This is slightly better than that. It's still not good. It's just better than last week. Like, nothing, like, crazy egregious happened. It was just fucking like, that's weak, that's terrible, that's weak.
Nothing crazy egregious happens except for, like, Jason Todd lamenting over the last issue's events and being 100% right when he was talking to Nightwing. Going, he shot me in the face! It's yeah, he did. And apparently Jason is just as in disbelief as we are.
Yeah.
Batman picked up a gun and shot him in the face.
No way! He would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like this fucking video.
Yeah.
when
You have stumped the characters in the book as well as the readers.
When
Congrats.
Jason went to go shoot the Joker and Hush was like, no. Which, by the way, you had pointed out that he was whispering the whole time.
The whole time. It's like, we're going to have a dialogue. Could you speak the fuck up?
Then Jason's like, hey, that's really fucking annoying. Could you...
But this is my gimmick.
Yeah.
This is a terrible gimmick. Speak up. I'm going to kill you now.
But Jason goes to shoot the Joker, and Hush just throws a scalpel into his fucking his gun barrel. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Get out of here! Stop! And he's like, if you pull the trigger, you're gonna backfire, you idiot. Now give me your gun so I can take it out. And Jason's like, no, it's a scalpel.
It's like, how about I take this out and then shoot you?
I don't understand what's going on.
I want the training of Thomas Elliot now. Like, where'd you learn how to throw scalpels like a batarang? Where do you
Bro,
learn
the
how
first
to fight
issue he was
Batman hand
he was
to hand?
throwing scalpels at Joker's chest, nicking arteries. So he's like
Marksman.
He's fucking bullseye.
He's bullseye.
Yeah. I don't.
I too have taken 8 years out of my life to go train with the League of Assassins. No, you didn't. Stop it.
Outside of Jim Lee going like, "This is my project. I'm putting it through. So fuck you, everyone." Like, I don't know how that story gets put through editorial. Everyone's like, "Yeah, good job. This is great," because it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's just. But
when at the end when Hush has Damien with the scalpel to his neck, and Joker has both of Jason Todd's guns.
because Jason goes, I don't need these to beat the shit out of you, dick, and he puts them down. It's like, really?
Right next to Joker's body.
Okay, cool.
So when Joker was standing there with both pistols pointed at each of them, it was like, I saw this coming. This was bad. You telegraphed this. This was awful.
Yes.
And then, Hush going, 3 Robins died tonight. It's like, oh, get a new MO. Mm-hmm. This is Joker shtick. You can't even have this. Isn't yours.
Well, hey, you got to pair down the Robin somehow, right?
But still.
And if anything, the one left is going to be Tim. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, they left my boy out. They left my boy out, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, I dislike it. It was a better issue than last issue, but it's still bad.
Awful.
Still
Awful.
bad. All right, let's talk about better stuff because I don't want to talk about it anymore. And just looking at Riddler's design, it's such. He's got this weird like bomb collar, high jacket shit going on. He's got a question mark over his eye.
Yeah, why do they constantly fuck with giving him makeup? Why do they want to put a question mark on his body somehow? It's terrible.
He just looks so bad where it's like he just needs to wear a suit. Like him in the green suit, that's all you need.
Years ago, he was running around with no shirt and had the question mark looked like it was tattooed on his chest.
It was carved.
He's had it shaved into his head. Mm-hmm. Stop it! Stop it!
Remember one of the many times that he was a good guy? I think it was pre-52.
Yeah.
When he had the mutton chops, he was working for the GCPD.
Yeah, he was a detective.
Best look for him. Just in a suit. I like the mutton chops. Give him a little extra character.
And he was like genuinely like helping, like showing up to the case before Batman got there on the scene. And you know that was fun.
So yeah, fuck everything about this. Man. All right, you pick one. I'll go because I read a weird one this week.
I did the Pale Knight #1.
I want to read that.
That was by Mad Cave. I have a feeling it's more than just the plague, but it's like a medieval plague kind of story.
So bubonic plague, black plague.
Yeah, it's there's an illness sweeping across multiple lands, and they're crusaders. They're on their way home to England, and you know, it's pretty straightforward and legit. The dialogue's good, but then the guy gets home to his wife and kid, and the kid's sick with the plague, and Death comes and talks to him and wants to make a deal.
Death wants to make a deal?
Yes, he's praying.
Okay, usually you gotta go to Death and be like, hey.
Well, he is. He's praying to save his kid, and Death kind of shows up and goes, "Save your prayers." Like, you know, Death is hysterical, and the artwork is very somber and real. It feels like it would be like a Prince Valiant kind of vibe, like you know. So you're not expecting Death to be, well, first off, I wasn't really expecting them to be acknowledged or it would be like a very metaphysical kind of conversation, but no, he's almost like stand-up comedian-ish. He is very
cracking one-liners,
kinda, because he's like, save your prayers. He's like, dry your tears, we can work out a deal. He's like, I want something. He's like, take me. I'll get you soon enough. He's like, I don't need you. He's like, I want somebody else right now.
Also, Death did come to him being like, hey, I'm going to use this as a tool. He
wants him to kill someone else.
Okay.
He's like, I want that guy right now. Mm-hmm. He's like, you, don't worry about you. You'll get yours.
Now, just first thing that popped in my head, if you're a good Christian Catholic, he's a crusader, right? So he's I believe in God and Jesus and I want this. When Death comes to you, is that a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, he's faltering. And he admits that. On his travel home, he's talking with his squire, and the squire's like, you're a good Christian man. You need to talk to a priest. And he does. He goes, he talks to the priest, and the priest is like praying over him. And he's like, put your faith in God. He's like, well, he's like, what if I lost my faith? He's like, what if I don't have it? And he's like, oh, you can't say that. He's like, you go home and pray and you reflect on these things. So he's struggling with it anyway.
Right. But my question is, just go with he is a good Christian. If Death comes to you, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because isn't Death like a tool for God? So it's like it's okay. It's like the devil came to him. His death, natural, happens everywhere.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
God's killed lots of people.
I would say if anything, because like I'm a dirty non-believer.
Yeah, me too.
But if
I like the conversation about it though.
Sure.
I like the thought experiment.
Well, I'm just saying in my position, if Death came to me, I would then go, oh, fuck. There are.
Yeah.
Like, that would solidify my faith in other things.
Yeah, outside of the implications of, like, yes, there are higher powers, like, is Death working for God? Or is Death not?
He seems to have his own agenda.
Right. It's just like, because Death is just like, he's the boogeyman, he's coming to get you, because it's, Death is scary for humans.
Yeah.
But, like, technically, is he not just doing his job?
Right.
Shepherding souls to the afterlife for a higher power, so it would be a good guy?
Yeah, because that's all he does is shepherd. Like, he doesn't dictate where you go. Mm-hmm. So, like, why he... Like, I guess the motive on why he wants this particular guy would need to come into play.
Just a hard tangent. I doubt you have, but have you read any Terry Pratchett, Discworld?
No.
Okay, so there's a series within. He has a bunch. It's like fantasy stuff, but it's like lighthearted comedy, kind of like with some philosophy behind it. Fantasy. They're great books. One of the series of books is Death. You're following their version of Death, and one of the fun things about that is he shepherds the soul for everybody, like period, right? But everyone who dies, whatever you believe to be true is where you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you die and you believe in reincarnation, you get reincarnated. If you die, you believe in you go to heaven or hell, you go to one of those. You know, like whatever your bespoke belief is, it just happens, just the way it goes.
Well, wouldn't that be fantastically
Right?
wonderful?
Right?
Right.
And you're just like, yeah, just the way it is.
Most
Yeah,
people
just
get to
goes.
go reconnect with their families. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Yeah,
sit
you're just
around
whatever.
the dinner table like on Sunday.
Yeah, whatever you happen to. If you believe in nothing, then you just stop existing. Like it's just straight up whatever you believe is what it is. Just a fun little. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody gets what they need.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I gotta say, like, I think I'd still rather be nothing.
Sure.
Well, I mean, could you imagine spending the rest of eternity with your family? God damn.
Well, the ones you like, I guess.
Right? I mean, you get to weed him out. Like, Uncle Louie can't come in. Fuck no. Fuck him. I smell the whiskey from here. No. I don't have an Uncle Louie.
Me neither. It's fine. So cool. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
the Pale Knight was...
Because you enjoyed it, I grabbed a copy so I could read it. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm gonna throw that at John too because I think that'll be in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, I wonder if John picked that up.
Mm-hmm.
I read the third issue of You'll Do Bad Things. The mystery continues. I'm confused. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't read any of it. So.
The author of the book just keeps writing about people dying, and people keep dying.
Stop writing about people dying.
I know. Well, he tried. He tried and got writer's block.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, he wrote a book that wound up exposing a serial killer. Mm-hmm. And when he talks about
like true crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like he helped like basically catch the guy, and people were like, "Oh, you're the guy. You did really good." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "But I haven't been able to write another book since then." And they're like, "Well, what's the problem?" And he's like, "Well, I don't really
need a serial killer."
He's like, well, he said, "Well, no, he doesn't want to." He's like, "I don't really want to write that stuff." And he's like, "I tried to take the characters in my book that were paralleling what happened." He's like, and I wanted to write a happy ending for him. And he's like, every time he tried, he just couldn't get there. So he winds up trying to do it again. He has a talk with this random stranger, and he winds up trying to like do it again. And it winds up like writing a death scene where the mom gets killed like years later, grieving for the child that was killed, and he's like, I fucking did it again. And then the woman like a woman associated dies, and he's like, oh shit, I might be the killer. But like
that's a big leap, huh?
Yeah. So he thinks that like and you're thinking it too. Like by the second issue, you're like, oh shit, this guy's killing people, and like he's either covering up or doesn't know. So right now, if he's a killer, he doesn't know. But I don't know if like in the story and what he's writing, but in the scene in the picture, the woman scratches the killer's eye, and when this guy goes and confesses to the person, like I think I might be the killer, he doesn't have the scratch on his eye, so it's like,
so it's not him.
What's going on here? And it's like it's going to wind up being some shit like his editor or something.
I was literally going to say, is he showing his pages to his editor because it's his editor?
Yeah, right.
For better sales.
Just trying to up your value, buddy.
I read Mommy Blog. It's just a one shot.
That looked wacky.
It is. So it's by Marguerite Bennett and Eleonora Carlini. It was fun.
I like Marguerite Bennett. Her time doing Batwoman was great.
It was nothing like that at all.
Well, no. This looked very weird.
It was a lot for a one shot. They packed a lot in there, and the story moved very quickly. But basically, she's like a try-hard mom, and she calls herself that. She categorizes all the different moms, like in like there's like hippie mom and like hip mom and all these things, and she just wants people to like her.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's also got a past where she was like abused, and that kind of carries through in her like relationship. And it's like unpacking a lot of stuff, but it's her being a good mom to her children, on top of killing some people who have done wrong. Like a dude like messes with her daughter, like a boyfriend kind of like does her wrong, and she kills that dude. She just kills that guy, but also as an end to to point towards some like kidnappings that have been happening around town and that people have been ignoring because they're lower class people, so they're not being investigated. So she figures, well, we'll kill one of the rich white people and then they'll start paying attention. And then she kills another girl who like did wrong to her son. Boom. Just murdering people for like good reasons.
Right.
Like they're bad people, but also furthering a really selfish end for her to be like liked. It was a fun read.
Okay, it sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. Fast paced, quick.
The artwork was fun.
It's wordy, but it reads quick.
It did look dialogue intensive.
There's a lot, but it reads quick. It's an easy read. It's not, you don't get like bogged down and stuck on stuff. So definitely recommend. It was fun, bloody, a little depressing. Did you read Giant Size X-Men?
I did.
Now
that was the last thing I read.
Okay. Now, thoughts. Because it's one of those things going in, like, we had an idea what was going to happen, but it turned out being pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I was apprehensive with things focusing around Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm. I think that's everyone's sticking point. Oh, by the way, it's Giant Size X-Men #1, Jackson Landing, and Colin Kelly, and Adam Kubert. Yeah. Just
with Miss Marvel, like going back in time and being involved in the X-Men's like history,
which is not explained in any way.
No, it's not explained in any way. But like, so Cyclops remembers her because young Cyclops had the time with the champions, and then gets sent back to the origin point.
Right, so the original X-Men were brought to the future by Beast a while ago. They spent, like 2, 3, 4 years here in current continuity, and they got sent back.
So
they know everything.
Yeah, so they have knowledge of the future, which is kind of crazy that, like, timelines wouldn't be disrupted by that, even if you're trying to do your very best not to allow your knowledge of, the future to affect anything. You knew this happened, right? The whole basis of Giant Size X-Men is the first team goes and gets captured by the island or attacked by the island, which is Krakoa, which is, Krakoa in the future, which you should also have knowledge of. No, wait, you don't have knowledge of Krakoa.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But that's post.
But you should have knowledge of your team going on this mission. And because you were an adult, like you have the memories of also the history that of the adult X-Men that you get filled. It's like, hey, don't go there. Real simple, but we have to go there.
They never laid out the rules of how much they remember and why and all that. You know what I mean? Like maybe he remembers Kamala, but he doesn't remember like major events. So this way the timeline is. I don't know.
I know, but
I don't know the rules.
The fact that they don't iron these things out like leaves that big ambiguous cloud of like, yeah, sure, just roll with it.
I think
so
they
you
have
just
to
roll with it.
Leave it ambiguous because you paint yourself to a corner if you make it concrete.
Yes, but it's why you don't do things like this to begin with. That's why you don't send someone back to experience, like, now she's going to have her time. When she gets back to the future, all of the X-Men are going to be like, we're awesome. Like, Colossus and Nightcrawler and Wolverine are all going to be super cool with her. Because, hey, we remember you from, like, unless there's some mind wipe thing.
Yeah, unless they don't.
Yeah, and they already jumped to the next time sequence, so how are they going to get...
Right, basically an intro happened.
Yeah, and it's just garbage because, like, moving forward in the future, Kamala Khan is going to be fucking at every pivotal point in X-Men history, and she wasn't. Like, you just like it just seems like a really weird way to shoehorn her into the original team, and it's just.
I don't think that's what they're trying to do.
I know, but it's gonna. They're gonna have these memories of her there. Just like, when Jean went Dark Phoenix,
again, they can very easily wipe this shit away by the end. You just have a big wave of the hand, and none of it ever happens, right? Everything's maintained, and then even if they do that, you think they're gonna be like, Kamala, you're the best. Oh, we love you so much. You're top X-Men. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Listen, it was a good goddamn issue, but it started off with two of the worst words I ever want to see in a goddamn comic book, and that's Mother Ascani.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to see Ascani ever again.
That meant nothing in the context of the story.
Until it goes back to those. That was a focal point.
So just to give everyone context, it starts with Legion, but it's not David Haller.
David Haller is dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
It's whatever's left of the personalities running around in Legion's body.
Right, so we are Legion. It is other people piloting his body, and he's still super powerful. And then we have Miss Marvel get pulled in because, for whatever reason, Legion is trying to fuck with the timeline.
Right.
And that's kind of it. It's written well. It was fun. I liked it quite a bit.
He kills the mutant race.
He tries.
No, in the future, he wipes them out before the time jump.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, because he said that the militant faction that was standing in front of the X base.
Yeah, they had the X's. It was very hard to read what was actually going on there.
He said he's like, we're the last of the mutants. We're gonna take it to them, and we're gonna. They were finally. It was like the mutant army finally leading an assault on mankind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Legion just shows up and goes, "No, you're all dead."
Okay. All right. But I also really like the backup.
Oh, with Xavier?
Yeah.
I did not read that yet.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Who was the woman?
New.
Okay.
So Xavier has all these crazy bitches in his past for whatever reason.
Too many.
So basically,
He got around.
But it wasn't that. So it was when, in his efforts to go recruit the team for Giant Size, this is one of the people he visited. Right?
Oh, okay.
So she's an Italian lady.
Yeah, so that it took place in Italy.
And her power is nuts. Her power is, I am better at whoever's around me can do.
Oh.
So, like, she's only been around normal people, so she's like, I'm faster, stronger, smarter than anyone I'm around. And then they start having a conversation. He doesn't know what her power is, and she starts to pick up his telepathy, and it gets more and more powerful, and he's like, I'm going to put up my best mind shield, wah, 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 wah. And she's like, nope. And, like, he makes him catatonic to the point where he said, I think the line was, he didn't have any of his own thoughts for several days. Because she automatically became a better telepath. Because that's her power.
Oh, wow.
Whatever you can do, I can do better.
Well, that just means she'll show up in a book 3 months from now.
But that's what it definitely was set up. Because it basically at the end is like, you know what? Now that I know there's other of you, I'm not going to train with you. Because she pulled all the knowledge out of his head of what he was doing.
Can we introduce characters to another concept than Charles Xavier, like fucking over people in the past? Like, didn't we just have Sarah Good to attack all the children?
He didn't fuck anyone over. She's just a selfish bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, like, this is him going to fuck with people or recruit people, whatever,
Right.
and it all comes back to haunt them.
So, as a whole, Giant Size, thumbs up. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, to be continued.
It was definitely kind of up in the air, like whether it was going to be good or not. And I'm happy it's solid. We'll see what the next one goes. Because next one's Dark Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kamala stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh,
a stretch.
oh, big one. She gets her mutant power starts to
Yeah,
activate.
what the hell is that?
She's fucking Disco Ball Sparkle.
Yeah, well, we don't even know what that is.
No.
Like, what does that do?
She like her like she gets like weird little like yellow gold
gems.
plates
Yeah,
like on
yeah.
her fists, and she's got like Jubilee sparkles in the trails.
Stretchy, gold-plated, stretchy
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So yeah,
Stretchy Colossus.
I think what this is just an avenue for her to get her mutant powers finally. I think it literally is just that. Let's activate your mutant gene and you can be whatever, and everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, good job, you're a mutant for real."
I wish it was a better power.
We don't know even what the power is.
I hope it's not.
But the thing is, like, you couldn't.
gold-platey garbage.
You can't make a mutant power that's better than what she already is because she's tied to her power set now as an Inhuman. So you can't have the mutant thing eclipse the existing power set. You can only have it like make it fancier.
Making her another stretchy character was bad enough.
I think she's fine as a stretchy character. How many stretchy characters are
I
there?
hate stretchy characters.
She does it in a different way than she's not just she does the embiggen thing, you know. She got the big hands to slap you around.
Let me tell you how I hate embiggen.
Come on.
Terrible. Terrible.
It's funny. Simpsons. Pop culture.
Yeah, embiggen, no thanks. Stretchy people, no thanks.
I'm fine with stretchy.
I'm not fine with stretchy.
She's not overly stretchy.
If I'm gonna
She's not like turning into a ball and bouncing around and
If
shit.
I'm gonna deal with a stretchy person, please make
turn
it
into a
be
parachute.
let it be minimal. I want Plastic Man. No,
Plastic Man's insane stretchy.
no elongated man.
Yeah, fuck elongated, man.
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't even want to deal with them that often. Like Plastic Man in small doses.
Okay.
Like never a part of the Justice League.
Okay,
Fuck that. Like, you're like I freaking read Fantastic Four. This stupid ass power. I hate the Fantastic Four.
Strong words.
Stupid powers, man. Dumb.
Stretchy, rock, hot,
I mean, hot. Is
and one
the
guy's
only
on fire.
But yeah,
I mean, it's too hot.
But Johnny's like the only Sue they have amped up. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like I could put force fields around your head and stuff.
Bro, did you see? I forget what art it is. She's in like a giant like force field mech suit.
Yeah.
She's like armor.
Yeah, like she can like make things now, constructs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever, you gotta grow it. Other than like I could make domes.
Well, and how Johnny can go supernova.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny can Johnny crazy shit suit and crazy shit. Poor Ben and Reed have not upgraded at all. I'm still a rock, and I'm still.
I said Ben with Reed's like they play with his stretchiness a little bit, but with Ben it's like, what do you get? You get more rock-like. Like when you get harder, you're more orange.
Camera to get harder. What a revolting development! I got a revolting development in my pants.
Yeah, it's a big gnarly fucking nubby rock in there. Oh man. The only other thing I have this week is number 2 for Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell. Charles Soule and Steve
Looks
McNiven.
so ugly.
Yes, I wish McNiven would draw like he used to.
Well, I mean, it's not that McNiven can't draw. He's making old people and decrepit. He's leaning into
There's
this
lots of lines that are making
choice.
it look. Yes, it
because
is.
McNiven's one of the best out there.
It's fantastic. It's just it's a little rough in this one. I found out who the mystery villain is. It's Bullseye. Why wouldn't it be fucking Bullseye?
I mean, at least it's not giving you something stupid.
And he's looking to make more like superpowered people. He's got a bunch of the chemical that made Daredevil.
Bullseye's looking to make more superpowers?
Yeah, I don't know why.
MO for
there's
him.
there's no explanation.
I really wish he would just show up and try and kill people. That's
I mean, it's kind of like that, but like he's weird because he's got a bunch of like pins like in his skin all the time that he just takes out and like whips at people.
Pinhead Bullseye, interesting.
But he flicked a pin at like one of his henchmen. And he's like, "Oh, my ears!"
Pain and suffering will be legendary even in Hell's Kitchen.
And it's just Matt having a hard time being like, fuck, I'm old. Ugh. And his powers are fading already. They're temporary.
Oh, okay.
Because his powers faded in the first place. He got like a kick up from the bomb that went off that killed Cap, because of the exposure to the radioactive material. But he feels it like already like slipping away.
Huh.
So he's like, I gotta do this fast. So that's it.
Void Rivals comes out tomorrow, and I know you're not reading that. Like you read the first volume of Transformers and you haven't touched any of G.I. Joe.
Not yet.
But there's like this pig character who's like a mercenary. Space pig.
But he's a snake pig.
He's kind of a snake pig.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't know. He's got snake fangs, pig nose. But
Scales.
he was in, if I remember, if my old ass brain works, he was in the cartoon series. And he was like I don't know, 2-3 episodes. Like he wasn't like a reoccurring character. Does
he talk like a pig or does he talk like a snake?
I don't remember. But like, I want to say he was only in like one arc. I really can't like confirm that for certain. But he was just such a bit role thing, and they're making him like this whole issue was him, and it was crazy. At one point in an earlier issue, he goes home, and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to see my wife and kid." And his wife and kid aren't there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they're not here." And it's really kind of like sad, and it's like, all right, what happened to him? And they never address what happened to him. Well, one of the last issues, he gets murdered. He gets cut in half, and and another one of him grow like there's 2 of them.
My wife,
right? yeah. And like the Junkions, Wreck-Gar and the Junkions, the motorcycle guys, like they save both of them, and they're like, yeah, like you'll be all right, whatever. And some guy comes and whisks them off back to their home planet kind of deal, where there's the Alpha and a whole fucking army of him. But they're all the same guy.
Oh, it's all him.
Yeah. And like when it was just the 2 of them.
Is he like an experiment? Or like his whole race like that?
His whole race is like that. Well, the whole race is him.
Okay.
Like he's one guy. Because I forget what his name is, because they all chant it together. They're just like, rah,
Pig face.
Yeah, pig face. But the second, the one out of the 2, the original one, is explaining, because he's like, where's my wife? Where's my kids? I gotta go home to my wife and my kid. And he's like, not your wife, not your kid. And he's like, what do you mean?
I got it.
And he tries explaining to him, he's like, we're all from the Alpha. And it's like, oh shit! So they go back to that planet, and there's an emperor of him, and he's the Alpha.
So he's the one with the wife and
his
kids.
wife,
Yeah,
his kid.
but they all have the memories.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it's like, wow, you took this nothing character and turned it into a whole.
that's cool because you could deal with individuality, things like Clone Wars did with the clones, where it's like, yeah, you're not actual people. You're like, you have to find your own identity. And you're not who you think you are, and all this other stuff. Yeah,
right. Yeah, because the original two had just got a scar. He's like, you see my scar? He's like, you don't have that. And he's like,
now you can tell it's apart.
Yeah. And the last thing is the new issue of G.I. Joe. And I'm just going to gush about the new issue of G.I. Joe. Because they introduce Beachhead, who is my favorite G.I. Joe character.
Okay.
And he is written so goddamn well. Like, he is right. Like, the issue just did not disappoint. He's exactly who he's supposed to be. You know, he's like this Black Ops guy who's like doing missions by himself because he chooses to. He does not want to work with other people.
It's a loner.
Yeah, you know, he was hired to go get a weapon from a weapons collector. And the weapons collector lives in like this big fancy mansion and's got top grade, mercenaries working for him or whatever. And Beachhead had to like stake out in a foxhole for 3 days, undercut, just sitting there in a hole for 3 days, for the opportunity to strike, and all kinds of wacky things go wrong. Like it's box 47, and it gets there and it's a person-sized box.
Okay.
And he's like, God damn it! Like why wasn't this in the?
Does 47 have any significance to G.I. Joe?
Not that I know of.
Just curious.
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
once it was a body-sized box, though, I knew it was a bat inside, and at the end, it was a bat. Sure. It was a damaged bat. Like I was like, yep, okay, fine. But the issue starts off with CoverGirl working for Colonel Flagg, and she's like clearing out his office because he's going to go have an office at the pit with G.I. Joe and Duke, and And she's like, I found this like one weird file by itself, and it's redacted, and there's all this stuff blacked out of it and marked off, and it just repeats the terms Night Force, which, if you're old and you collected the toy, it's just a terrible repaint.
Okay.
But, in the context of this, it's a Black Ops team, and shit goes sideways for Beachhead. He has to take out a whole bunch of Major Blood's troopers that were coming after him, and he gets out with the box, and he's like, all right, how the hell do I get this thing out of here? Like, it's person size, it's a robot, it's heavy, I had no extraction plan except for getting the hell out of here by myself. And Flint and Lady J show up and like haul his ass off, and basically they start like sales pitching him, and he's like, I don't know, team, no bullshit. And they're like, no, like, no G.I. Joe, Night Force, us, not Duke, us. Well, we're gonna get our hands dirty and do the fucked up shit. And he's like, oh, well, I'm fucking in.
Okay. How are the other Joes gonna feel about that?
Probably not.
Is that something they care about, or?
I mean, the way the series has been written thus far, I don't like, because Duke is lost rock and roll, and they've already gotten their hands dirty, and like they've already been pretty grimy and doing shit that's not public knowledge. So I wouldn't think it would really bother them.
I just say because there's Soldier, and there's like Black Ops, like Wet Work, which is like, oh, you're doing like fucked up stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's not going to go over well because Duke doesn't like being kept in the dark. Anyway. Okay. And then basically that's the whole point of the first arc. It's just like, yeah, we didn't tell you that we knew about these things, and now we want you to go after these things. And it's like, well, what the hell? Like, you could have just told me up front. But the fact that, like, while Beachhead is carrying out his mission, he's like, oh, they want me to train other people. He's like, and, like, when they train you, like when they ask you to train people, it's like they're getting ready to put you out to pasture, like, you're just training your replacements. He's like, and I'm not going to do that. He's like, not for a long time. He's like, I ain't training nobody.
Right.
So, stubborn, wants to remain useful. And it's like, all right, cool. Like I don't know if G.I. Joe will share the teams, like alternating.
Honestly, I would expect like a Night Force mini if they did that.
I would love it.
Right? And have like whatever plot point out of it. Well, it's very cool that like they took your favorite Joe and like they did him, proper.
Yeah, he did him justice. Yeah, because like everybody loves Snake Eyes, and you can go have your ninja fights and shit like that. And I'm sure, there are other people that have their favorites besides Snake Eyes, but it's almost like default for everybody's G.I. Joe fan. Oh, Snake Eyes. Like,
he's all great. Black and he's a ninja. It's really cool.
Yeah. One of the things that got me about Beachhead, even way back in the day in the cartoon, is like, people would make decisions, like the high chain of command, people make decisions, and he would be like, well, if I was in charge, and people would always clap back, well, you're not in charge.
Oh, so he's a dick.
Yeah. Like, he's not, like, what he is, so the problem with G.I. Joe is they're a team of specialists, so they're all high ranking, so you have a whole bunch of leaders in a room, but you only have one leader, or two guys in charge.
Yeah, I'm sure that can cause a problem.
Yeah, exactly. You have four guys going, well, if I would do it this way, and it's like, oh, shut the fuck up, I'm in charge, you're doing it my way. Yeah. So that just hit right for me, really. Like,
cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think if that means to take your favorite character and then do it right, that means a lot. It means they're doing it right. So, anything else you want to touch on?
No, that was my whole list.
All right, cool. Well, that's it. So, next week will be Bitterroot. We had mentioned that before, but we'll be going over Bitterroot next time.
So good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, sure.
Why do I feel like I like more of these things than you do?
I don't know.
I'm not as critical, I don't think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's the opposite way with the weekly reads. I think you're more critical of weekly reads, and I'm less critical of it. And I might be more critical of the full stories. I don't know. Weird.
We tend to review a lot of indie stuff, and I haven't been terribly happy with Major 2 stuff lately, so that could be a thing too when it comes to reviewing weeklies, where it's like, yawn DC,
yeah, it's a
yawn
possibility.
Marvel.
Yeah. But anyway, Bitterroot next time. Thank you for listening. If you want to send us discussion topics like Matt did, or you can send us suggestions for future book reviews, you can do that at thecomiccryptcast@gmail.com. You can follow the store on Instagram and Facebook. Links will be in the show notes. And, hey, go read your books.
We loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bags like comics. The hardcore get it while the soft bitches vomit. I came to this earth on a radiated comet. Now the planet is in perilous danger because I'm on it. Fly super villain with the superpowers in me. Got the red issues and all my shit is minty. Body like Ben Grimm, suckers I be beating down. Look around and we be found chilling out in Eatontown. I be at the comic crypt stacking up the kryptonite. Doomsday and Superman every time I grip the mic. Dark Phoenix overloading, supernova sunspot exploding. I'm the Punisher reloading Bobby Drake when he's frozen. Storm forming ominous clouds over the ocean. Working with Professor X to master my emotion. Have you posing in the box whether you know it or not. I'll easily bag your bitch like Logan did to Scott. Mr. Sinister plots when I administer shots to clone Gene from a jeans. Then this shit'll get hot like Inferno. Burn slow, humans are ash. God loves man kills in the days of future past. Now I'm working on a science lesson. Me and Brian Stratton, a rat in a cage who can't stop buying X-Men.
Like a flower that blooms in the spring.